Yeah, I mean, my first right now thoughts is I'm really happy for our team and the fans. And, people have been waiting for a moment like this, to beat a really good team, a team that we respect, and to figure out a way to win. We're showing some resiliency. The last couple games, there hasn't been some pretty stuff, but I don't think we're in a position right now to be too entitled to complain about a win in the SEC. I don't care how they come. We'll take them any way possible. And we had some moments. I thought we played really, really good basketball. I mean, really start the game, the second half. Everybody made plays. Everybody contributed. And there was some moments there that I told the guys in the locker room that, I think we're on to something. We could take it to another level, but I think we're on to something with how we're playing the right way. And we've been competing all year. I mean, our defense has been good, the guys' toughness, everything else. So, this is a great day, and hopefully there's more to come.
Questions for the players?
Obviously, they got some big guys in the post. Going into this game, what was the plan for you guys, you and Devin in the post particularly, and how do you think you guys performed down low against them?
I think it was just how it was every game. We knew coming in, like in the SEC, you're going to have some big guys, some big dogs that we're going to have to go after. And it's either you're going to lay down or you're going to fight back. And we chose to fight back. We're going to keep doing it and keep building. So.
Jason, there was a sequence in the first half where you hit one from about 30 and then followed one up on the break from 3. What do you remember about that?
I mean, those are pretty deep, but I work on those shots, so I don't think it was anything that I can't do. I feel like it's something that I haven't done a great job showing so far. I just gotta keep working. I know this season came with a lot of ups and downs for me, probably some of my toughest times in college so far with basketball, but I just know, like, when it gets hard, I just gotta keep working. So that's really been my main emphasis over this entire season, and I feel like today it showed a little bit that, when you put the work in, the confidence is there, and that's when you can make big time shots and big time plays like that.
Jason, you can hear, for both of you guys, you can hear about the importance of the rivalry, but when you go out there and everybody's storming the court, did y'all learn something about what this meant to everyone here? To
yeah, it kind of felt like how it was, because we were there when we had beat Bama earlier in the season. We kind of felt that, and that was crazy. So we kind of wanted to have the same feeling. And we knew it wasn't going to be easy. As you seen at the end, we was up 10 and they came back. It's a 1-point game now, so just what's next? You just got to keep going. That's all it's about.
For Jason, same thing. What was it like out there with crowd storming the floor and kind of embracing just fans that you've probably never met before?
I kind of piggyback up what Jaylen said. We were actually a part of that Alabama storm on the field, and we kind of like huddled up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we kind of like huddled up, but we made sure to get down there safely though, because it was an ambush down there. So we made sure to get down there safely, and like we kind of huddled up, like look around. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be us soon, and we just knew like what came with that. Like a lot of people just see the field storm, they just see the wins, they see the glory, but they don't see like what goes in behind the scenes. So we knew like every day we're gonna have to keep our head down and just work every day to be here. And like today being out there, seeing it happen, it was just like a surreal feeling. Like we prayed for times like this, we worked for times like this, and it was upon us. So it was a great feeling. Hopefully we can feel it again. But like me and Jaylen said, we want to get to the point where being teams like that, like that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's not even crazy. Like being ranked opponents, we want to do that on a regular.
For both of you guys, it's kind of felt like a game like this has always been in there for you guys, but it's never fully shown up. Did you feel like you kind of broke through today a little bit?
Yeah. When everybody gets against you, it could be media, people around you. What you gonna do? You're gonna fold, break, or you're gonna keep going. That's all it's about. You gotta just keep going, man.
I feel like personally, every loss doesn't have to be taken negatively. Obviously you come here for wins and losses, and you come here to win every game. But when you lose, you can attack it two different ways. You can cry and feel bad about yourself. You can feel down. You can feel sorry for yourself. But nobody, especially in this league, nobody feels sorry for you. So I feel like every loss we've had, we've done a great job of like understanding like what happened, what went wrong in that game. And I feel like me personally, I try to take accountability for what I can control and what I do. I feel like a lot of those games we've lost down the stretch, I made some costly plays, some bad decisions, and I feel like today I still made some that didn't go my way, but I was definitely more careful. Like I knew in the back of my mind, like you want to try to avoid this, you want to try to avoid this, and I feel like just those prior experiences of unfortunate situations that leads to us being ready and prepared for times like this to win a big game down on the stretch of the game.
Obviously, there was a lot of Vandy fans, a lot of orange as well. You guys looking around pregame, did that give you any motivation, extra motivation, or do you kind of drown all of that out?
I feel like going into the game, coach already told us like our fans are going to hold it down for us, but at the same time, you know that Tennessee rolls deep, and you know that they're right up the street. It's a rivalry game. It's not going to be a regular home game. You should say like it's going to be loud when they score, just like it's going to be loud when we score. So we know that it's dang near like a neutral site game. So we knew that coming in, it's going to be a fight. Like you can't think of it as a home game. We're going to get all the calls. We know things. The ball's not going to bounce our way. The whistle might not blow our way. But at the same time, it's just like the resiliency down the line. We have to keep going no matter what happens. We have to stand the tides of the game. Like at the end of the game, they went on their run. We knew like their run was going to come. But it's just like the way we attack it, the way we stop the run. And I feel like we did a great job.
Both of you guys, we need to give more. People need to give more credit for Magnon's hops.
Yeah, my dog Chris, he's a hopper. For sure.
Chris Magnon's a dog.
I wanted to talk about your question. I was wearing one of my dad's jersey and it was orange. One of the days I went to class and someone had said we don't wear orange around here, and I was like, oh, okay, y'all are that serious. So ever since then, I always took it as pride. Like we don't like orange. So when I saw that orange today, it kind of got into me. Like we don't like that.
Was MJ's transition dunk a surprise? Or?
Oh nah.
MJ missed one just like that the other day, and we were on him bad. Like, bro, you gotta punch that.
Yeah.
And he finally did it today.
Yeah, hype for him for sure.
Yeah.
Do you see that kind of hype back to Magnon? Do you see that kind of jumping ability from him every day in practice?
Oh, for sure.
Both of them.
They both wake up jumping. They can sleep for 10 hours, wake up, touching the top of the square. Like,
It's crazy.
it's unnatural.
Tyler missed the free throw there. Obviously, probably tough for him in the moment. Worked out for you guys, but what's the message to him as older guys, leaders of the team, just to get back and keep playing?
He's young. It happens. Miss anything like that, it's a part of the game. We don't. He took full accountability in the locker room. We telling him like, man, it comes with the game. We found a way to close it out. Even if Chaz Lanier would have went down there and made both, we still would have had to find a way to close the game out. Like it's a basketball game. The ball's not always going to bounce your way. It's a make or miss game. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he went to the line. Nobody was thinking like who's going to miss. We had 100% faith in him. Next time if that same situation happens, we're going to have the same faith in him. And if he misses it, we'll find a way to make up for it. We're not going to sit here and beat him up.
Jaylen, you've had maybe your two best games in the league. Has something clicked for you since conference play started?
I don't know. Our coach always told me it's not going to be easy. When he first brought me here, he told me you have to put your head down and work. It's not going to be like the Sun Belt. So, but yeah, I'm just getting in the groove right now, finding myself, and they're still trusting me. That's just the best part about it. I got a community around me that's gonna be rough, but they still trust me.
You talked about getting that going for yourself. What does a game like this, where you have a double-double in a big rivalry game and get an upset win, what does that do for your confidence in continuing that?
Yeah, like I said, we don't like orange, so that had me going, and it was a good confidence boost. But I don't really pay no mind. I'm ready for Alabama Tuesday.
Jason, this is a team that's kind of thrown together from people from all over, a new coach. People may not have known what your identity was. You just came out and beat a top 10 team in the country. What does this do for the team's confidence and the team's swagger as the season continues?
I feel like I wouldn't say we were due for a win like this because obviously we're not entitled to anything, but we work extremely hard, top down. Like even our walk-ons, you can catch our walk-ons in the gym at 7 a.m. Like that's our identity, is working hard. So I feel like we've always had a swagger about us. We all know what we can do, but it's just games like this. Like I feel like you can see the sacrifice out there today. It was times where, none of us want to come off the court. Like that's the truth of our team. Like nobody wants to come off the court. We're all super competitors. I know I hate coming off the court. I know JC hate coming off the court. But at the end of the day, like you gotta sacrifice for those around you. And I feel like today we did a great job of that. And as long as we continue to build on that, the sky's the limit with us. Like we went out there and beat a great team, a greatly coached and great organization in Tennessee. But at the same time, we know like what we can do, but we know what we have to do on a daily basis to reach that ceiling.
Jason, two more quick guys. In the spring, we talked on the phone when you could, and you said we're not rebuilding here. We want to win immediately. Is this the type of win you had in mind?
Oh, for sure. we know that a rivalry game, to us, it's a game, but we know that everybody else is bigger. So coming into a game like this, you got to attack it like a game, but in the back of your mind, like you always know, like we're playing for something bigger than ourselves here. We're not just playing for us. Like this game right here, when we talked about, like past our years playing here, you know what I'm saying? And games like this really just show like our identity as a team. Like we're not complacent. We're not a team that's like, oh, first year, new set of guys. We don't really know each other. We don't know anything about each other, but at the same time, we come together every day like we're supposed to win right now. Like we're not. I wouldn't say we're a group of new guys. We're a group of like just competitors that really don't know each other, but at the same time, we're finding a way every day to mesh better, get along, and win. Cause that's all we want to do. Sometimes you might see us bump heads and like that, but at the end of the day, we just want to win.
Anything else?
Jaylen, you had the 2 turnovers early on dribbling mistakes, and then go on to have one of the best halves of your Vanderbilt career. Just what was your mindset throughout all that?
Like I always be saying, like, what's next? Like, I gotta keep going. It's not gonna be handed to you. Just keep going. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, we'll go questions for Coach.
Mark, that's a program that defends against anybody, anywhere, anytime, and has for years. You get a season high in points for them. What's the significance of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge. I mean, it was keeping me up the last couple of nights. I'm figuring out how to score. And, you know, the problem that comes with them is they're scoring droughts. It's not just scoring, but, I mean, they can shut out a team for 5, 6, 7 minutes sometimes. And those are the ones that's hard to overcome. And we kind of had to find a way, sometimes in possession, sometimes in the game, to end the drought, you know, end those things. And their scheme is unbelievable, really good. They cover for each other. Ziegler, Meshack are elite defensive players. So we knew it was a challenge. I think our guys were playing the right way. And the ball found the open guy. The ball was moving. We executed and got good shots there. And that was better than what we've done, you know, some previous games.
How nerve-wracking was the last minute and a half, just the way that was following?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I mean, there was some frustrating things that happened in the last 2 minutes. And, you know, there's some things that are out of your control. And you know, if something goes against you and there's still time on the clock, you got to figure out a way. And, you know, the guys had a good job of being resilient and went to the next play. And, you know, we'll learn from those situations too. You learn from the wins, learn from the losses. And there was a possession 2 or there we wish he had back, had done better. But then there was some, you know, like a block like Chris Magnon at the end and some other things at the end, and even saving the ball at the end. If the ball goes out of bounds, I think Jason Edwards saved it. You know, they got another chance, and just saving it and throwing it back. You know, just little plays, and guys kept fighting, and you know, it kind of shows who they are. And they were brought here for a reason, and I heard about those attributes before they got here, and they demonstrated that tonight.
You've been a head coach for over 10 years. How does a game like this, the fun, energy, everything, how does it stack up compared to some of your favorites over the years?
I'm an even kill guy, so you're not getting much out of me. I'm on to the next. I'm on to Alabama. I walked off the court, didn't want to get run over. And then I was thinking about things we got to do next. You know, you celebrate things like this as a staff, you know, in the spring and off season. But right now we know it's a challenge coming up next. I told the guys I'll give them the day to enjoy this. And then tomorrow we're going to have a tough practice.
How can things like this galvanize, though, a fan base and a community when you see the success like this, just like it was with the football program?
Yeah, I mean, that was my feeling when I walked off the court. I was happy for our players. I was happy for the fans and former players, alumni, and when you're trying to build something, you want people to buy in. You want them to support, and sometimes they're apprehensive until they see results. And you know, they showed up. And they had a great environment, great crowd. They helped us win. And I can tell you guys, when we lost against Mississippi State, I was really upset, distraught, because we had a great crowd against Mississippi State. And I was sitting here thinking, I was like, all right, we got to get them to come back. And we got to believe in us. And today, you know, seeing this, and, you know, I know they can walk around with pride on their VL, on their shirts and things like that. That makes me feel good that they can do that right now.
What's the challenge in not having them get complacent, especially with the tough schedule ahead of them in Kentucky still?
You know, it's so daunting when you look at everything, and you know, Alabama's a Final Four team. I don't think it's impossible to overlook them. Tough environment, road environment. So You know, what we'll do is what we do, same things. We chop wood, carry water. Come back tomorrow. Let's figure out what we did right, figure out what we did wrong, prepare the best we can for Alabama.
How important were Tyler Nichols' threes tonight, the one before the half, and then several others in the first half that extended leads?
Yeah, I mean, it stretched out the defense, and actually a lot of those layups we got in the second half were due to the threat of him. And so he did make threes, he made big shots, but the threat of him actually opened up other guys too. And you know, I was trying to find different ways to get him shots, or at least make him a threat so they'd have to worry about it. And AJ made some nice passes to him, and a couple other guys. And he's such a hard worker. I mean, he almost overworks. You know, I want to tell him, hey, go watch a movie sometimes. He's in the gym nonstop. And I worry about him going too much, going too hard, because he was in a little shooting slump. But he's put in the work. He deserved a night like this.
Mark, you talked about the buy-in from the fans. The buy-in from the roster you put together. I mean, you bring all these guys in to get them to buy into what you're asking them to do on the court, and to do it this effectively, this quickly. How much has that been a big key for what you've done so far?
Well, you know, we do a quote every day, and the quote 2 days ago was "No sacrifice, no victory." And you know, it's a team game. And there's times where, you know, you want to do something, but it's not your time. You got to help it support your teammates. And we always talk about our culture of being happy for your teammates. Your time's coming, and that karma will work out for you. And they've seen it this year. So it's not just me, coach talk and everything else. They've seen their teammates do things. They're happy for them, and then their time comes as well.
You only had, I mean, when you got here, you didn't have a lot of time to build this roster with all these transfers. How do you think you got that part of it right? Because you didn't know a lot of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dizzy couple weeks there. I mean, it's nonstop. Guys are in the office, and it's a lot when you. It's easier, and I hope this is my future, when you're trying to replace 3 guys in the spring. We were in a situation where whether we wanted to or they wanted to, we just had to replace the entire roster. So you're trying to find this. That was our main thing. We try to find character. We try to find competitive guys. And they had to make winning number one. Right now in the NIL days and things like that, where, you know, some guys want stats. They feel like stats are more money. And that wasn't going to fit with our mission and our team. So the buy-in on that and us trying to figure out who fits that, you know, it's not easy with that many, but the guys have completely bought in to what we're trying to do.
You guys didn't score. Sorry, you guys didn't score a single point in the last 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
It felt like it.
Still hung on to win. What does that say about kind of the resolve and what you had to do in order to get there?
Yeah, I got to go chop up those last minutes, and I know Jason Nevers had a wide open 3, and I was right in front of me. I thought it was in, and then AJ Hogard had one, and I think it was a couple times where there might have been some guys, you know, some violent hits on our guys on inside. Maybe it was a call, maybe it wasn't. Would have helped alleviate some of that scoring drought. But it is, you know, look at it. You know, if it's a good player like Jason Nevers missed an open shot, we'll take that every time. If we did some things wrong, we got to get back and fix it.
You talk about guys that you brought in, one of those guys being Jaylen Carey, someone that you recruited, James Madison, comes with you to Vanderbilt. Obviously, he's had a lot of responsibility thrusted on him this season, has had his ups and downs. How big is it for him to have a game like this, of this magnitude, and how rewarding is that for you as a coach, as someone to see him really grow?
Well, yeah, so obviously I know Jaylen extremely well. And the first thing that he's 19 years old. He looks like he's a grown man and everything else. He's 19 years old. And so that's exciting. He's going to get better and better along the way. He's competitive, from a competitive family, mom and dad and, you know, brother and everybody else. What he wants things so bad, and it's not everybody's time right away, but you put the work in, you'll get results like this. And so I think since SEC plays come, I think he knows the athletes, the size and everything, and I think he's just in a different zone right now. At LSU, he was really good, and he's had some other really good times. And you know, look, we're lacking bigs. We're not very deep there, and so even when he's not playing great, we still need him. And give him credit. You know, somebody mentioned the turnovers to start. He overcame that, and that's not something he was doing early in the season. He might make a mistake and then get down on himself. He actually came over, gave me a 5. He goes, "Coach, it won't happen again." And I could tell he was over it, and he was ready to move on and figure it out. So extremely focused, talented, great personality. You know, there's a reason I brought him here. I think he's going to be really good.
What's it like for a coach in a court storming?
Yeah, I got great security. They got me out, and I didn't have a chance to look at it, so I'll have to see it on the TV. Like I missed it.
Over the years, Rick Barnes' teams have been known for being physical and tough. You guys out-rebounded them and outscored them in the paint. What does that say about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we told the guys coming in, one of the main things is like, look, we out-rebound and we win the game. And they're so good. I think they were 6th in the country coming in on rebounding. So that was a priority. That was a focus. You know, the physicality, they're really good at it. And then we had to match it. So we can't let that be overwhelming for them to get that advantage.
Coach, you really took advantage of that stretch without Zakai Ziegler on the floor. From your perspective, was he bringing to Tennessee, and how different of a team is it when he's not playing?
Yeah, I mean, he's tremendous. He made the threes in the first half, but what I really thought was disrupting us was his assist. I think he might have had 6 assists in the first half. There is so much value in having a veteran guard like that who knows everything, who's been through everything. Not having him on the court, I'll choose that every time because he's a really good player.
2 more.
How important was Chris's defense for you today?
Yeah, I mean, he kept getting fouls, and I didn't want to take him off. He brings energy, and you know he had the responsibility of guarding Chaz Lanier to start with, and other guys jumped in, and he embraces it. He's competitive. You know, he's buying into his role that we need him like that. And there's different ways to win the game, and that block was a big one.
Jason Edwards had 18 points today. Obviously, he had a bunch of tough shots. Just what kind of lift did he give you guys?
Yeah, he was in a good zone. You know, I talked to him before the game, and you know, I didn't want him to press, and I want him just to let the game come to him, but still be aggressive, and that's not, you know, it's kind of contradicting each other. But we had to find them early, find shots, find stuff for him, and you know, I thought, I'm not scared of him shooting the ball. I know sometimes it looks wild. He's dynamic. We're going to need that sometimes. So I got confidence in him, puts in a bunch of work. And when you have guys who are not scared of the moment, you let them have the moment. And he's not scared of the moment.
Jason said that you'd mentioned that the crowd was going to be more of an even split than what you would normally see. How did you know to tell them that? Because you hadn't been through a Tennessee game here and seen the Orange before.
Yeah, I mean, you had some advice from different people, and what I didn't want is you know, Tennessee to make a shot and then they hear noise and our guys, you know, getting disappointed. And so, you know, the number one thing we said, we worry about us and we take care of us, and I was like, we're going to have, you know, support in there. But we had to almost anticipate, you know, it's like a neutral environment where it's going to be crowds cheering on both sides. And it was a great environment. It was fun I'm sure they would say the same thing, fun environment. I'd like to get to every single time we play them where there's less and less orange in there. Wins help, and we got to build it that way. But today, our crowd lifted us up and supported us.
All right. Thanks, Coach.